let's see if that works again. So sorry, we just went offline there. So let's see if it comes back on by itself magically. At the minute, it's not. Okay.
It's okay.
I'll just answer I'll ask in the comments. Are we back? Hang on. Are we back? It's all this modern technology, Vince, is brilliant today.
I know it
It's
is.
okay. Let's see. I'll just give it a few moments to populate again and see what happens. So yeah, like I said, we've had no sound, we've had no picture, we've had uh,
A sudden drop and everything. That's
yeah.
all fun.
Uh, oh, okay, not back. Okay, blank screen. Okay, let me go out and come back in. Hang on, let's stop this. Right. Hopefully, let's have a look, see if we get back online. Online again. Oh, it looks like we might be back online, Vince.
And so, are we online?
Sorry about that. Someone said just as we were getting good in the chat, it went down. So let me just share this so people know where it is. So I think that must have been the whole. That wasn't my fault for once this time. That was the internet's fault. I'm definitely blaming the internet that time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Let me just share it. So we've got it in the group as well. Cool. Copy link address. Right. Let's get that. There we go. Right. And then. Okay. So we should be back online now. Hopefully. Let's have a look. Yeah, cool. Yes. We're back on.
Here we are.
So
anyway, so that was the secret that we didn't want to talk about.
Yeah,
and they all missed it while we were in the blackout.
It sounds amazing.
Darn, it is.
But what we were saying was, because obviously Matt Gilbert's kind of got his overarching storyline. So if people, if people have got a main character, it becomes, if they've got like Mortimerus or something like that,
right,
that probably becomes a bit more difficult because we might have our own plans for them. So
right.
I think that's what
you
part
don't
of
want
the
to
process
use.
with you.
Yeah, you can't use named characters
Yeah.
in the stories. The only way they can appear as is sort of like almost a non-player character. So they're there.
Yeah.
They may walk up to you and say, "Go take that hill," and then disappear, and then you don't see them again. Because one thing what we can't do is we can't affect the timeline that's going on right now, and we can't affect the named characters in there because they are part of the ongoing Mantic story.
Yeah.
So anything that we do in these books, for the most part, they're made up. You have to create new people because we can kill them off anytime and not affect the storyline.
That's it. Yeah. You just get bored of them, just shoot them, and that's it. They're gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was thinking today that as I said, I used to work in Black Library, and I know Dan Abnett really well. And if you're familiar with that, he had this series called Gaunt's Ghost, and
Yep.
he would always be killing off characters. And I remember when one of the Harry Potter books was out, and Rowling was saying, "Oh, she cried when she had to kill the character in there." And the running joke was, "Well, Dan's been in tears for years. He had to kill these people." I mean, it is sort of a thing. If you create a character and develop it along, but it's time to die, it's just time to die, and that's the way it is. And that's the same thing in these stories. You can create a character in there and then fall in love with him from the standpoint of, he's but sometimes they got to go.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting because, like you say, and with the named characters, we've kind of sowed the seeds quite a bit in Kings of War, and we'll keep on going back to them, and kind of they may be a bit part in one supplement, but then a few years down the line, actually they come back and they're suddenly a major player. So that's another reason why we say, well, look, steer clear of this particular character, but there's nothing, for example, like you say, of setting a story within the timeline when they're around. You've just got to kind of be careful not to try and touch that. So
Right. I mean, as I say, they make a appearance on stage and then exit stage left.
I guess it's easier with things like Dreadball and things, because obviously with that one there's so many potential players and teams that actually you can quite easily probably make up a kind of a team for that one and kind of do that.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, I don't, they're really not. I mean, you could go through, especially Dreadball, you could kill off a whole team and recruit a new one in the same story if you wanted to. I mean, you're really not going to affect anyone.
So basically, the
And
more people that die in a story, the better. It's like Game of
that's right.
Thrones.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially in books like that. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, but that's always the thing. You've got to balance it. You've got to balance the story about where it is in the universe, what characters you're using, blah blah blah. I mean, the other thing is we can't change the timeline.
Yeah.
We can't have one faction suddenly invade and take over a whole patch of land because that's the way the story is. If that's not happening in the Mantic world, it's not happening in here.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put you on the spot a bit here, Vince. If you had one bit of advice, someone who's watching this thinking, I'm gonna as soon as this stream's ended, I'm gonna start writing my story. What's the one bit of advice you might give that person?
Outline it. Make up an outline, because you could see, if you do an outline properly, you can develop the steps from one thing to the next. And if you follow that outline when you write it, the scenes sort of fill themselves in. You have to make it a detailed thing. You can't, man goes here, then man goes here, because there's not much story in there. Unless you pull an it'll, it's like man goes here, by boat, fights orcs, saves girl, drinks beer, then gets there. Is a little bit more detailed. And it's a little bit more, because as you're looking at that, say you look at that outline and say, does this make sense?
Yeah.
Is someone going to be interested in this, or is like, it's a great story that I'm going to walk away and fall asleep with, or is it compelling? Are there things in there? But the outline will at least give you a broad base of whether you can do that. And then as you start writing it to fill it in, you have to make it, as I say, fill in details, make it compelling, make people want to see what happens next.
Because I guess for some people, the kind of desire to just start writing is probably so, overbearing that they just want to crack on with the writing. But actually, if you spend some time actually plotting out that outline, succinctly and kind of as much depth as you need, actually, it will help you when you come down to the line to actually writing the story itself, I guess, really. Right,
because one of the things is you're going to go charge right in here. I'm going to start writing this thing, typing away on the word processor, or if you're old school, of a, Electros type and Mimeo paper and all that, or Quill pen if you really want to get into it. But the thing is, you'll get like maybe 500 words into it, and then you're like, where's this going to go? And then you'll ramble, or you'll just stop because you've run out of steam, and then you'll come back and, what was that idea I had before? I don't remember. Let's go drink. It's the you can run out. You write too fast for your brain.
Yeah.
Or so you need to really plot out what you're doing.
Oh well, someone's just bought the Kindle version of Drowned Secrets while we've been doing this. So John France,
lovely.
Well done, nice one. So there's one sale for you today, Vince. You can mark that up.
I appreciate that. I mean, actually, I will say this: as much as we want sales on our website, and we do want them, we encourage people to go to bookstores to buy books if they can, because by doing that, it means that retailers will stock it better, and make it more available. And then what that does is it gives us a better margin because we can print at higher quantities and we can make them more affordable.
Yeah.
So there's a method to my madness. Either way, I get the money, and we actually get more of it if you buy direct. But I think in the long term, it's better for us. It's better for Mantic. It's better for book publishing if you go to a store or buy it online or wherever you want to do it like that.
Cool. Well, I think that's probably, even with that technical hitch, I think that went fairly well, Vince.
Okay.
We got the sound. Good. We got the sound working your end, which was good. We thought we were going to have to do the whole thing via mime at one point, which I think would have been. And also Benjamin Stoddard says, please leave reviews. Reviews help boost exposure and increase how much Amazon and then the book people can kind of push people. So that's a good tip as well if you're wanting to help promote.
Yeah, I mean, if you the one thing is if you buy it from Amazon, you can leave a review for it there.
Yeah.
Or if you buy it at whatever other chain you buy it at, put it there. Or you can go to like Book Blurb, um, and any of these review sites and just put a review of it up there if you like it. If you don't, just shut your mouth and mind your own business. That's what I'd say.
And on that bombshell, Vince, I think we'll leave it there. But thank you very much, Vince. Thanks for joining. I know it's an early start for you over there.
It's my pleasure. Like I said, I always love talking about this. I love talking to you guys too. I'm sorry we didn't make it to Adepticon this year.
Oh, well, there's always next year, hopefully.
That's
Fingers
right,
crossed.
true. Absolutely.
So thanks so much everyone who's been watching and answering questions. And Vince, I will hopefully speak to you soon.
Absolutely. Take care. Thanks.
Bye, everyone.